Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about songwriting. This is going to be a multi-part series, I think. So the first part today, I'm going to talk about where to start. How do you start writing a song? How do you get the ball rolling? Which in my opinion can be one of the hardest things. So I'm going to show you a few techniques that I use. The beautiful thing about some of these techniques is you don't have to be a seasoned musician to write a good song. In fact, you can have very little musical experience and write something very decent. So anyways, stick around and cue cool music, and I'll see you soon. All right, so full disclosure, there is no right or wrong way on how to write a song. If you write something that you're really happy with, no matter how you got to that point, if you're happy with it and you achieved your goal, you did it right, okay? So I'm just putting that out there. That's something you're gonna hear quite a bit, but it's true, right? I'm just gonna give you a few tips of things that I use that I find help me get through things like writer's block, help me write on the fly when I'm working with an artist. The first tip that I have is use the instrument of your choosing to write up melody, and then you can put lyrics to that. I call this the 101 Dalmatians method, I guess. But it makes sense, right? Most of us that start on an instrument, and that's the most native to how we play. So, for example, this week my wife's gone, I picked up the guitar and I started playing a few riffs and I came up with something I really liked. So I went upstairs and plugged it into the studio and laid it down, and I started to embellish it a little bit. I started to create a progression based on that riff, right? Now, it's a simple chord progression. Don't invest a huge amount of time at this stage. Create something that you could work with and then move it on. If you spend like 100 hours producing something, polishing it, without getting to the lyrics and all that stuff, you're gonna get so married to that riff that when somebody comes and critiques and asks you to change something to fit a vocal lyric or a hook or something, you're probably not gonna wanna do it because you've invested a lot of time. So what you wanna do is come up with your melody, create a progression that you can work with, and then bring it to the band. Bring it to the producer. Get the songwriter, or get lyrics going at that stage, right? So that's my first tip. Use the instrument of your choosing. The second tip's kind of a weird one, all right? So this one I call couch time. And if you're into filmmaking, you probably know what I'm talking about. So couch time is something a lot of screenwriters will do where they lie on the couch, close their eyes, and they visualize a scene before they write it, all right? I know it sounds weird, right? It sounds kind of like, well, it sounds kind of hippie-ish. But it actually is something that's very useful when it comes to music. Great example is a producer named Rick Rubin, right? He will have bands visualize their song before they write it. So for example, I think it was Linkin Park. I don't know. If you know who it is, leave it in the comments. But anyways, he would have them mime their first song, like act out. And at first, you know, they're trying to get the groove, but then the whole band starts to work together with this pretend song they haven't written yet. And they created a vibe. They actually created like an end goal for their song. So once they were all like on the same page, they sat down and they actually wrote that song. You could do this. It doesn't have to be miming your instrument. You could sit there and, you know, take a bunch of photos of things that you like and actually write towards that, because a photograph can give you a lot of good visual information that you can use, right? I know people that use like pictures of trees and old trucks and they write, you know, all these really great Western Nashville tracks. So anyways, so that's the second method, is I would call it couch time. The third method is actually one of my more favorite methods now. It's something that I've learned the last couple of years, and it's a really good method that I could write anywhere. I don't need to have my instrument. That's why if you're not a seasoned musician, this is a great method for you, is write by title first. For some reason, musicians and songwriters have this stigma that you have to name the title at the end, but I disagree. If you start with the title, that gives you a lot of great information. It gives you a hook. It can give you a lot of directional information. You know, there's a thing called prosody. So you can start to figure out your who, what, where, when, and whys, and what kind of tension you want to create just based on your title. You can always rename it at the end, right? So this is what I would recommend. Sit there and make a list of like 10 to 15 titles. You don't have to do it at once. You could do it throughout the week or a couple weeks or whenever you feel like it. I tend to have an app on my phone where whenever I have a cool title idea, I'm like, oh, I'm going to write that down. And then when I want to sit down and write, I have a list of great starting points. I can be like, wow, I really like the name of this title. And then I'm going to brainstorm imagery, things that title reminds me of, and it gives me a really, really good starting point before I actually start writing lyrics. So those are 3 tips that I would recommend, 3 methods. They all work really well. I tend to combine a lot of them. I daydream a lot, so actually the couch time method seems to be what I do a lot more these days. I don't know. Okay, so what I want you to do, I'm going to give you homework. This week, I want you to list about 5 or 6 really good song titles and pick one that you like, all right? Next week, we're going to take that. I'm going to show you how now to take that title and start to develop it a little bit more and start to get ideas before we start putting pen to paper. And eventually, we're gonna start writing a song based on that title. It'll be fun. If you want to learn more about that method, Pat Patterson has a great course on edX. It's free. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description so you can go check it out. I don't know if it's on right now, but you can sign up, and then when they do it again, you can start. It's a fantastic course. And yeah, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm doing a contest giveaway right now. So right now I'm at about 40 subscribers. The goal is 100 subscribers. If you watched my video on the Smooth Q review and you like it and you subscribe to my channel, when I hit 100, I'm gonna be giving one away. So anyways, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next week.